Yep.
Oh, welcome to Pokemon GO Podcast. I am the Rock Out Podcast in Charles McFall. Made a quick appearance on Pokédexpert this year. Was not nearly as good as Joe's appearance from last year, but that's okay. Joe and I are back from Dragon Con, and we don't really bring tales of bringing tons of stuff home, but you know what? We might have a few con stories to share along the way. But Joe, what's been your experience this week?
Ooh, that is, well, even the past 2 weeks, I guess, since we didn't have an episode last week, right?
Yeah, we were both working on Thursday night.
Yeah, we were. So, let's see. I know that I caught an Inkay, which some people are saying have been pretty rare for them, unless you live in a near water, unless you're in the right biome.
Here's the thing: you just caught it.
Yeah, no, yeah, I just caught it. Now, granted, at Dragon Con, I did pull up the game and play every day, but I didn't play a ton, but I did play. And from the room that we were stuck in, basically all of Dragon Con, from that area, we could.
Yeah, you say it like that, but this is the first year you actually got to go shopping easily. You got to go eat some lunch, go see some stuff if you wanted to. It's a much better year for volunteers this year.
And to be honest, I should have had my had it on in the background more often and using the Go Plus to catch and spin stops, because from there, because they increased the spin distance interaction back up to 80 meters, we were able to interact with two stops from that room.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so, I should have been at least using the Go Plus throughout that, and I wasn't. But, I was enjoying Dragon Con, so there's that. But let me put in age 0 to 14, and let's take a look at these last couple of weeks. I've been doing a bunch of different rocket battles, so I've got a bunch of new shadow Pokemon here. None of them are all that great of IVs, so it's not anything to write home about. I did hatch a Timber, Gibble, and Rufflet, so that's nice to have those, especially the Rufflet, get those extra candies. I should probably look through my Rufflets and see if any of them are good enough to warrant evolving, because I do have enough candies to evolve into Braviary. But other than that, it's been a pretty slow couple of weeks. I did catch quite a few Darumaka. It doesn't show here because I've been trashing them regularly, and did hatch a Clauncher. I know Clauncher's like your new favorite Pokemon.
You know what? Concher's kind of cool looking. You can't really hate on Concher.
No, but you can eat him, especially with some butter.
Some butter. Some butter. I put in my 0 to 14. Actually, I got a Zamazinta. Apparently, I completed that raid. Did not name it, but it's from Platteville, Wisconsin, is where I get that one from. So whoever invited me from Platteville, it's been a hot minute. I don't remember. These things that Darmanitan, I got the Darmanitan evolved up. Phalanx caught a Shadow. Oh yeah. So I did go up against Giovanni. Got it.
Max says you were the one he was the one that invited you to that raid.
Oh, Return of the Mac. That's me. So thank you, Mac. I got his hands. No, dude, I did ignore a number of invites this week because I was just busy, man. I didn't get my watch out of the car, but I was also worried about in past years. Here's the thing: in past years at Dragon Con, the signal has been crap. As you know, Joe, 2 years ago we did a tournament for the Pokemon Go podcast.
That did not go well.
It did not, because signal was a huge issue.
Yeah, the winner was decided by who had the better signal.
Yeah, and while it was kind of interesting, it's not what Joe and I want to bring to the table. Well, this year I think everybody had good signal. And I know my T-Mobile, which I just recently swapped to, it went gangbusters down in the Hilton. I mean, I never not had a signal. I mean, we ran some of the broadcasts when there was an issue with there's an issue with the cable at one point because we moved some things around, something came loose. We just ran the broadcast off of my phone, like the signal, right, for the Galleria
Oh, you
6. And
set up a hotspot?
yeah, it just knocked it out real quick and those kind of things. I'm trying to see if I got anything. That Squovit is, I think the Squovit's better than the winter squirrel. I forget the other.
The winter squirrel?
Yeah,
Which
blue, little blue squirrel.
the little blue
I
squirrel?
named mine Rob Roberts because I saved it for Rob Roberts, and actually I've seen him 3 or 4 times and never gave it to him.
Are you talking about Pachirisu?
That's it.
This one? I've got pulled up
Yeah.
Pachirisu? Oh, okay.
Tell
All
me
right.
it doesn't look like a winter squirrel.
I
Tell me,
mean,
Joe. I'm looking at it right now.
it's
It's
electric.
white and
Woogie
light
woogie
blue.
woogie.
I didn't say his ice type, did I? I said winter squirrel.
Yeah, Pachirisu's from Go Fest a couple years back.
Yeah, I'd saved one for Rob, like I said, for Rob Roberts, and then never gave it to him. I keep forgetting. Actually, I caught a lot more in the last 2 weeks than I thought I did, but nothing spectacular other than Mac inviting me due to exams. And other people have invited me to stuff. Like I said, once I knew I had good signal, I was worried about battery life, right? Because it wasn't super easy to just plug in to the computers in charge. And I don't know. I didn't play a whole lot of anything, to be honest with you. I just was out of pocket, as they say. But that is not all that we've called to talk about. I will say, I still think Pokédexpert is it's just on the edge of the comedy that I don't like. It just gets a little cringy from time to time. But man, their live show, and we're getting stuff moved over to YouTube. Actually, maybe right now as we speak. I'm not sure if Mike's working on that right this second or not. But from Galleria 6, we streamed all the panels. Pokédexpert was one of them. And it took about minute and a half, 2 minutes for the crowd to realize it's a comedy show based on Pokemon, and it went so well. It did. So what were you going to ask at the very end when you got up and they're like, "No, we're going to wrap out," and then you just stood at the microphone staring at them? What were you going to ask?
So I was on the show last year for DragonCon, and they had me play a character that was all about Pokemon fighting and battling. Okay, and their two personas are very much against Pokemon battling. And so one of the last questions to come through was they basically said, so the whole thing was about Slugma, okay? And they said, how can I make my Slugma better at gladiatorial fighting? And they both kind of shook their head, and I can't remember what they said, but they were like, no, we don't condone Pokemon fighting. And so I wanted to get up there kind of as my character from last year and be like, a Pokemon's worth is only determined through battle, or something like that, you know?
Sure, I got you. What do we have? I was wondering if they're going to call on you, but they were out of time.
Yeah, they were. I suspected that I would not get called on, and I don't know if anyone in the crowd would have even understood the reference. So.
Right, you had to watch it last year.
Yep.
Where did we stop broadcasting? What date?
The 26th was our last broadcast.
Okay. Yeah, we got a Squove at Hundo. That's right. Okay. All right. So experiences of the week from our Discord, which you can get to through Pokemon GO Podcast / no, wait. I got it backwards. Patreon.com/Pokemon GO Podcast. I guess I could set up the other way around too, but yeah, let's see.
Yeah, so that first one is Shiftworks. Hallowed Robin is still the 26th. So Shiftworks. Right. With a shiny Shadow Sneasel.
Well, that will accidentally be trashed here shortly.
What?
He's going to grade it. And now he's got the star on there, but he's like, I forgot. Pull a Brian Ibbett. Just send it too fast.
Okay.
Oh, man, Tup. What we got here? A Bunnelby with really crappy IVs.
Yep. Yep.
And
Yep.
Bidoof.
But it's a shiny Bunnelby.
Okay, so
I know it's
maybe
hard to tell, but there is the little stars in the background.
Gotcha.
And then
With all that they do with these stickers, right? That you can send on gifts. It's this really huge sticker that goes on the picture that you send with your gift. Blah 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 blah. You would think they could put a big old shiny star sticker right on the side, left side. If you're looking at the screen, it's the right side corner, right where that meter comes down. Big empty space. It balances the other sides of the screen. Why not? Or in the top left
well,
instead of that. Yeah.
clearly they should just talk to Disney and get permission to slap the crab right on there.
Oh.
The crab from Moana.
Yep.
Yep.
I don't know how it goes. I just remember
Shiny.
Shiny.
Yep. Yeah. So the shiny Bidoof. Old man Tup says that he's got a rodent problem between shiny Bunnelby and shiny Bidoof.
Now, I want that crossover now. I want the shiny crab to be sitting there in the background when it's a shiny thing. When you look at the breakdown where you can evaluate and all that, and then if you touch it, just goes shiny.
That would be an interesting discussion, I think. I don't think it'll ever happen, but it would be interesting to see what people would prefer. If Niantic was to try to do a crossover for Pokemon Go,
yeah,
what intellectual property would you like them to cross over with?
That's a good question. We'll have to ask it again at the end of the show for next week as well. Just remind everybody. Kids in high fives got level 43 awards. Got almost a hundo Tortuga.
Yeah.
It's a good Tortuga.
Yeah, it is a good Tortuga. It's looks like 12, 15, 12 on there. Good old Tortuga.
I'm going to look at, I didn't even evaluate my Zimzam, whatever Zamzamenta. I will evaluate it. Praise it.
I love that nickname, Zimzam.
Zimzam.
It's pretty awesome. 98% Zimzam from Duly Noted.
Mine has 2 stars. It's just under the second line on HP, and just over the second line on attack, but its defense is almost, I'd say its defense is a 14.
So you're saying he's defensive?
He is. Not as defensive as, I don't know. I don't have a joke for that one. So moving along. As Zammy. He got Zimzam. He got Zammy. Is that a hundo? The one named Zammy, or is that just beneath?
No, it's a 98%. If you look at the defense stat, it's 14.
Gotcha. And then a shiny Voltorb, which is nice.
Yeah, the blue orb.
What the hell did Robin there knock out?
Oh yeah, Hallowed Robin showing off 6 new shiny Pokemon: Trubbish, Lugia, Snorlax, a Galarian Farfetch'd, Meowth, and a Galarian Meowth and a Berserker, which is the evolved form of Galarian Meowth.
Oh. Hold on.
Did you not know that?
So the you call it Langoliers, I call it gout. Meowth. So I can actually evolve that up and get a cooler looking Meowth that looks nothing like Meowth.
Yeah, the one with the horns.
All right, cool. I'll do something with that. I gotta get a bunch of those candies, I'm sure. Disappointing Terry disappoints us all by earning a medal where he made the Raid Battle Trainer achievement screens 200 times. As if there weren't enough freaking awards for this man to take home. He's shown up on other people's screens 200 times, and that gets a medal. This is starting to feel like a participation award at this point. Come on, man. While slacking, that is crazy.
Oh yeah. And do you see the CP on it?
That's a lot of CP. Is that the max CP?
No. It's interesting because if you have forgotten from years past, if a Pokemon spawns in the wild with a higher CP than your highest Pokemon, it actually won't display their CP. It'll be question marks. So for newer players,
Oh, okay.
this slacking would have been question marks for them, since it's 3,123 CP.
Nice.
Ooh, disappointing. Terry ain't so disappointed about that catch. A shiny Lugia, 96% IVs. Very nice.
Nice. All right. I've not really been paying attention to the game for the better part of 2 weeks. This is gonna have questions for me.
Okay.
So Barry, hashtag original fraud, put in hello gents. As a quick summary, I was able to get my first Hoopa. How do you get a Hoopa? That's my first question. Got 100% Skunky and shiny Fletchling and Bonsley. Oh, screw you on the Bonsley. Seriously, you got a shiny baby? Psh. If he didn't feed me good pizza, I'd be really mad at him right now. The events so far have been good. Got another elite collector medal, and I'm I'm currently at 6 out of 16 for misunderstood mischief. Can't progress as Professor Willow is drunk at a bar and not doing his investigation. And also, I'm caught up on your podcast, which is an achievement all to itself. Well, there you go. That deserves a medal. So yeah, how do you get a Hoopa?
There's an event going on. At least I would assume that's how it is. I haven't
They got the psychic spectacular going on.
I
Right
haven't
now.
kept up with the announcements because, well, we were at DragonCon.
Yeah,
we were otherwise engaged in, well, not really debauchery. That was other people, but
that was other people.
we were having a lot of fun. But Hoopa is part of the Season of Mischief, and we will talk about how to get Hoopa here in just a little bit.
Which, by the way, is the first time I've seen something like this. The Season of Mischief ends in 82 days and 14 hours, whereas the Psychic Spectacular ends in 3 days.
Yeah,
which is that's what I'm used to. Oh, and I got misunderstood mischief when I was 6. Wait, is it tracking it on both sides? No, that's different.
there's two different ones.
Spectacular. The Psychic Spectacular is the temporary event. Misunderstood mischief is the permanent event. Okay.
Yep.
So. Take 3 snapshots of psychic type Pokemon in the wild. Yeah, like I remember who the bleep those are. All right, moving on. Hallowed Robin made level 49, which is brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah, they only need 30 million more experience to get to level 50.
Only 30 million.
Only. I still think the level 50 reward should be a second permanent incubator, infinite incubator.
Hallowed Robin, Barry's telling him he'll get there before I will. Before I catch another hat Pikachu.
It's true.
It is true.
Because you hate it, or at least before you keep another hat Pikachu,
Yeah.
just send them all to the trash. And then
Let's see. I'm getting close, honestly, to 41. Less than 200,000. Yeah, 121,000 is all I need. It looks like.
There you go. And then Nolte showing off 100% ride-on and some new shinies. Shiny Drowsy, a Lowland Raichu, and 2 shiny Lugias.
Shiny. Now it's in my head.
There's worse things to be stuck in your head.
I agree. I did forget to upload our clip. So if that's the end of that, let's do our discussion because we actually do have a clip from Dennis for Pokemon Go this week.
From Denny boy. All right, so
Den.
the discussion from this past episode, because I guess not past weeks, this past 2 weeks, is should Niantic use previous event Pokemon as the quote-unquote filler Pokemon for events? So we've got 2 comments here. We've got one from Rye 1986, or maybe Rye H 1986. And they say, it depends. If it was like a costume Pokemon, then definitely not. If it's, say, for example, Galarian Mr. Mime or whatever, then there should be an acceptable cooldown, say 6 months. So the players who paid for the ticket don't feel stiffed. If they wanted to do something different for an event, I like the ones where regionals swap. Just don't put them all behind paywalls of raids, um, i.e., or were sorry, paywalls of raids or eggs like they did for Ultra Unlock 2. A lot of people can't afford to travel, and the fact there's Pokemon that can't be caught unless you're in specific areas seems wrong, especially after
Right.
nearly 2 years of some countries having closed borders. Yeah, and there's a lot of regionals that have never been part of an event, especially the regionals that are in, say, Africa. So Tropius, Sigilyph, um, Relicanth has never been part of an event here in the United States. Um, and so yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. Swapping around um, regionals would be great. And I do like the costume Pokemon. Yeah, no, that's not really what I'm too worried about when it comes to this question about using event Pokemon as fillers, because the costumes are very much a specific theme, and that theme won't fit as a filler for other um, events.
Pokemon Drag Show. Come on, dude. Drag Weekend. Right up. Do this.
uh, Actually, so in the main series games, there and in the anime, there are beauty contests, and they could definitely do something themed around a beauty contest where they bring back a bunch of previous costumes. I know that would be your favorite event ever. Every Pokemon spawns has a costume of some sort. You would love it. It'd be the best of the best times you've ever had. But we have another comment here. If you wanted to go ahead and read it from Dooley.
I don't know. I'm still kind of burning on that last little point you made. Dooley says, nah, if a Poke was released only as part of an event, then reusing them as filler devalues their rarity. I'll tell you why I disagree with that in a second. Otherwise, these rare event mons become nothing more than Little League trophies that all players get no matter how much they suck at baseball. Well, have you not seen the 200 times you just appeared on the achievements card for raid trophy there, Dooley? Pokemon is as Pokemon does. I'm gonna here's something a little controversial, might piss some people off. It's all Little League trophies. It's all ones and zeros that are falsely rare, and ultimately you get handed it at some point, some way, either through an adventure box or through an event. It is very, very few, Tropius being the notable one in my head, that you don't just get given. So, if you really think you have value because they're rare, try selling that as a MPF or uh, get some bitcoins for it. Something you won't, you can't, you don't stop. I think a year personally. I think a year.
A
Letting it
year
roll.
after the event.
Yeah, you said 6 months. I'm okay with that. But I think honestly,
Well,
if you
Rye said 6 months, but yeah.
Rye said 6 months. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but I think if you got to argue after a year of like, oh, this takes away my value. I'm sorry, you've had it for a year. How did it improve your game? How did you wreck face in Battle League? Well, you wrecked face in Battle League for a year. That meta changes all the time. So that one Pokemon, and this is what kind of point I'm making. The one Pokemon from a year ago does not hold its value. I mean, unless and you absolutely can hold value in. When I'm just thinking of Dragon Con, little kids can like, oh, what do you have? Oh, you got that. If that's your value, then knock yourself out. Other than that, these are really just worthless little ones and zeros, man. That you catch, and you might go, well, Charles, you want to catch them all? Do I though? If it was a shadow, I'm like, cool, that's a shadow. I see some that Joe has or other people have, like, oh, that's cool. But yeah, I don't know, Joe. I'm a little grumpy. What do you think?
No, yeah, no, I agree, and this could even extend to, um, say, the community day moves. after a year, why don't we just add that to their move pool so that you could use a TM on ones that you didn't evolve during the community day? Add that move after a year. After a year, that sounds like a great thing to me, because then it's not like, oh, I have to wait until Christmas, assuming they keep doing what they've done the past few years. I gotta wait till Christmas to evolve this Pokemon just so that I can. Yeah, Real Mac is Real
Because then
Mac.
they can play the elite TM.
Yeah, Real Mac brings up the Elite TM, and that literally is the only reason that they don't do that, so that they can sell the Elite TMs, because that is the people that are very big into PvP. Elite TMs are amazing. They love it. So, yeah.
And even then though, they basically give it to you in a year, right? When we get to December, we have the seasons of Community Day. So if you just wait and evolve it there, you waited the time, you still get the move, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Real Max says, just like, why can't we put legendary Pokemon in gyms?
It's
Right? Why?
Yeah.
Why can't we put them in gyms?
Because their CP is going to deteriorate anyway, to where you just beat them up once and they're gone. So, yeah.
And it's really cool to kind of see those things out and about, right?
Mm-hmm.
I gotta imagine at some point they were like, no, don't do it, because you'll confuse the people thinking that there's a legendary raid going on. And that might be the only reason. They may never have thought about
Except,
that.
except that we haven't been able to put legendaries in gyms ever, even before raids were a thing.
Yeah, so why not?
Yeah.
What's the psychic symbol on these Pokemon?
The psychic symbol?
Yes. I
It's
got after a free psychic.
it's a swirl.
It's a confusion swirl.
Yeah.
This is where I hate taking pictures. I love taking pictures of my buddy because I like seeing who's going to photo bomb. And then that gets me something, right? You take the picture, buddy, they photo bomb, all of a sudden you're catching another Pokemon. That's cool. This take a picture of 3 psychic types in the wild. Yerg. Yerg, what I can say.
But yeah.
It's a purple little swirly computer thing, whatever. Oh, you get NK from a photo bomb, Real Mac? I didn't know that. Hey, you know what? While we're rambling, let me throw a marker in. We're going to play Dennis's audio here.
All right.
It's Dennis, the world's most okayest DM. Hey, I don't really have a whole lot of tips lately, but since I haven't been on in a while, I figured I'd talk a little bit about my Pokemon Go experiences as of late. So I actually went on a trip in the middle of towards the end of the last event, and I really wish I would have put out some audio, but I was a little busy trying to prep, because one of the biggest tips I could have given at that time was to try and catch as many of those ice Darumakas as possible, because depending on how they implement Zen form, which is its last form, it becomes the most powerful ice attacker in the game. So if you still have your ice Darumakas, trade them to other people, like try to get lucky trades, try and get like 6 of those guys that are like really good, because down the road it's going to be an insanely strong Pokemon based on, what we currently have as far as information goes. I was trying to get 100 of them, so that way I had 100 to trade, but I only managed to get about 85. So, pretty close, not too bad. You'd think airports would have a lot more spawns, but unfortunately no. And in fact, when I landed in Atlanta on Tuesday of last week, which is the last day of the event, it was 6 o'clock, and I was like, all right, I'm going to land. It's going to take forever for the bags to get here. I'm going to catch so many Darumaka as I'm wandering around Atlanta.
And it did take forever for the bags to get
because
there.
It was that weird, that community hour thing that they do on Tuesdays. So it was just a bunch of garbage sheep. Why it was that Pokemon, I don't know. I don't know what good that does anybody, but whatever. So sadly, didn't get my goal, but it is what it is. At Dragon Con itself, I actually didn't do a ton of Pokemon stuff. I was doing, the daily spins and all that jazz, because there was a Pokestop actually right outside the Airbnb. And in fact, while I've been away, they implemented they went back to the old distance thing, so you can hit stops from further away. And oh my, am I thankful for that. But I did, during Charles and Tony P. Henderson's one panel, it was like a children's game show, I feel like.
Oh,
I did get a shiny Apom, which I did not have before. So pretty stoked about that. The only other news is that the Pokemon Go PvP Season 9 just kicked off. I think it was last week. It's not my favorite right now because it's Great League, and I've said it before. I'm not a big fan of Great League. You tend to just fight against the same things. And also, for whatever reason, I feel like battles take way longer in Great League. I have never had a battle timeout in Ultra or Master League, but I have had at least double-digit games timeout on me in Great League. And if that's happening, I would say the average time it takes me to play through a single PvP game is pretty close to 5 minutes. And so you have like 25 of those a day? It's a lot. That's a lot of battles. It takes a long time. So not the biggest fan of Great League, as you all know. But either way. And right now, since it just started out, everybody's at the same level, which is to say you're playing against a lot of really, really good players, especially people who can count moves. And if you're wondering what that means, so if you're really, really good at the game, and you know exactly what moveset every Pokemon is going to have, because most people use the exact same Pokeset or movesets, you can actually count how many attacks they've done. And if you know in your head how many attacks it takes to get to a special move, you can anticipate when a move's going to happen and then swap a Pokemon right before they go to do their special. Happens a lot. It is terribly annoying a lot of times. I don't do it myself because I get too distracted. I can't count how many times the Pokemon is attacked. Plus, my phone tends to lag a lot. But if you really want to take your game to the next level, get an idea how many attacks does it take to get to a special move for each Pokemon for each special move. And then, count them up. Watch the screen, see how many times they hit you, and then you'll know exactly when their specials are coming, which also helps you know exactly when to switch Pokemon. So that's my PvP
way
tip.
Too much work.
I really want to get to rank 20 just so I can start getting Lugias, even though, like I said last time around, my legendary luck has not been terribly great in terms of the 3 wins in PvP. But some of the PvP Pokemon that they're offering this year or this season, I should say, are actually really, really good. I got a Charizard on my first one. I've gotten some other evolutions of Charmander, Charmeleon, that sort of thing. But Litwick's also in play, which is a really, really good PvP and PvE Pokemon. And there's just some other ones. You should go check it out. Avoid Mindfu. It's terrible, just so you know. But it is a PvP exclusive. So if you want to get one, I think you have to rank up to 6. Rank 6, you're guaranteed one if you get 3 wins. So if that's what you're going for, get to rank 6. It'll take you 6 battles pretty much. And now one thing I do want to say, right now I actually have my personal Kickstarter launched. It already launched on the 3rd of September, actually, for my graphic novel, Lycan Solomon's Odyssey. It's the first chapter in an ongoing series about the world's first werewolf and his trials and tribulations as he goes throughout the ages. So you're talking different cultures, different continents, all kinds of different time periods, all kinds of stuff that's going on. But this is the first book, and it's set in 8000 BC. Right now, the Kickstarter is actually over 60% backed, which I am thrilled with because we still have 3 weeks left to go. And I know, typically in the middle section, that's where things tend to drag down. But I'm going to try and just keep on putting it out there because I really want to make this a reality, and I really want to bring this book to you guys. And I think, quite frankly, if you like werewolves or mythology or history or any of that stuff, I think you're going to dig it. So you can search for it on Kickstarter by looking up Lycan, which is Lycan, Solomon's Odyssey, or you can go to www.hiveheadstudios.com or www.lycanbook.com, or because I have a really crazy patron named Steve, you can go to www.clockfox.net.
What?
Thanks so much. Have a good one.
And the
Uh,
artwork is really good on it from what I've seen so
yeah,
far and on the previews on the Kickstarter.
yeah. I've read the original story that he wrote. I really, really dug it, and I'm executive producer on the project, and I'm about to go look at pledging to a level to put my money where my mouth is, and see what I want to do there. Well, I gotta read this one. The shirt off my back. You'll receive a Lycan Solomon Odyssey T-shirt. Ooh, he promised some heavy duty stuff here, man.
But
Ooh.
is Dennis going to wear the shirt first?
Oh, that's a good question. That's a good
It
question.
said
Yeah,
it's coming off his back. I mean, just saying.
they've got a lot of different levels here. So all right, let me play some music. We'll come back in.
There's a feeling deep inside me, and it's always there to guide me. It's in my heart and in my soul, leading me to the ultimate goal. You can try your best, this might be fun. Go down to defeat before you can go. Unbeatable Pokemon.
Oh, there you go. We're back in here. I was just caught up reading the King Amongst Kings level, the top level, where you get a custom Lycan Solomon's Odyssey jersey. You get physical copies, but you get the special page title of Chief Financial Backer, A Death in a Future Book, plus a signed print of that page. I don't have $1,000, but if I did, you got me. You got me. Give me a title, man. Give me a title. I'll buy that all day long. So, all right, we've got some headlines. Oh, you have the regular, boring, old, fat Lugia. Awesome. This is from El Gringo Suave. El Gringo Suave. Hey, oh boys. Here's an infographic for next week since you're abandoning us this week. And it's a How to Lugia by Flork of Cows. Right. So the ideal counter is I was just looking at two.
Zekrom.
Zekrom, thank you. And then that's not is that no, that's Thunder. No, that's Thunderous?
That is Tornadus.
Tornadus. All right. Then you got Electabuzz.
No, I'm wrong. It's not Tornadus.
Is it Thunderous?
Because Tornadus is the green one. It might be Thunderous. It might be. Because it's not Landorus. It's definitely not Landorus because that's the orange one.
Yeah.
It's Thunderous. It is Thunderous.
Anyway, lots of cool artwork here. Still arguably a dog from one of the legendary cats. Rampardo use him. Do Rampardo use him? It's a lot. There's actually a lot of different characters, but as Joe and I tend to do, I just watched you do it, Joe. You just took the recommended Pokemon and went in and smashed face.
If you've got enough people, it don't matter. Right. And that mindset is so different from when Lugia first came out. Lugia was one of the first Pokemon released for raids. And I mean, it wasn't the first, but it was amongst the first release for raids.
Right. I was there. It was horrible.
Oh yeah, no, and battling Lugia sucked. I remember losing several raids where we had 6 or 7 people. Nowadays 6 is, you got a bunch of randos, you're good to go. But back then, because most people were still early to mid 30s in level, and yeah, we did not have the Pokemon to take down Lugia just because Lugia's tanky. It's a tanky flying jerk. And yeah. So yeah, just I was reminiscing about how things have changed so much over the last, 5 years of playing.
It really has. Their graphics, both in game and now, have grown. And this Season of Mischief graphic for the announcement, really good. Really good. I could believe that Pokestop is sitting in the middle of the woods. And then we have this weird purple portal going on there. So what's going on with Season of Mischief?
Well, there's a Slugma on my screen. And is it lava or is it magma?
He's not solid, so I'd have to say he's lava.
That's what you were asked at Dragon Con. I'm glad you got the answer now.
Only if he gets all crusty and old will he be considered magma. Magma.
But yeah, no. So we've got the Season of Mischief that is going on right now. Let's go ahead and pull that up. It's all about Hoopla, of course, with, like you said, the portals in the background, and actually that artwork is pretty neat. The picture,
It is. It's really good. Yeah.
But anyway, so we got Hoopla. This started a little over a week ago, September 1st, and will last until December 1st. So for a couple of weeks, and they've got a couple of months rather. And they've got a little timeline of what is currently happening with September. And then it's got question marks for things that are going to happen. So apparently something's going to happen on the 21st, but it's got question marks next to it. So to start off, they say, hey, you're going to be able to get Hoopla, and apparently Hoopla is pranking Professor Willow, taking his glasses and whatnot. We probably missed all of that while Dragon Conning.
Right.
And then Hoopa, I keep saying Hoopa, all this Hoopla. Hoopa, there's a special research task that was given to us on Sunday, the 5th, and they're like, maybe this has something to do with Hoopa. Yeah, because we're going to get Hoopa from it. So Hoopa is here, and then as part of that, during the day, during specific hours, specific Pokemon will be attracted to incense, and they've got a list of that. So there's it's rotating every other hour, whether it's a quote-unquote psychic hour or whether it is a dark and ghost hour.
Yeah.
And that's between 11 a.m. and 5 p.m. But that was this past Sunday. Or it says available beginning Sunday. But on Sunday, this looks like that's what happened. The Sunday of Dragon Con is what that looks happened. So you and I, we totally missed that. The current one is the Psychic Spectacular that is going on. And I find it interesting that as I scroll down,
right,
Inkay flips over, and there
is how you have to evolve them. I imagine that's what Mac was doing.
Yeah. So in the main series games, the 3DS had a what do they call it? A gyroscope or whatever. It was able to sense the direction of it, whether it was up or down, and you had to actually turn your game upside down and then level up Inkay in order to get it to evolve in the main series games. Which, I mean, without the internet, I'm like, how do you figure that out on accident? But
right. Well, it has. Okay, so when you go to look at Evolve It, so I caught one because I did the whole take a picture of my buddy. NK did the photo bomb, and I caught it, and it shows the evolve, and it shows question mark plus the number of candies you need.
Yeah, plus the 50.
So imagine once you get the candies. I went ahead and touched it. It's like, no, you need more candies. So imagine possibly after you get the candies, it would say something to hint or flat out tell you turn it upside down. But you will have to turn off battery saver mode. Otherwise, it'll just be a black screen, right?
I don't think it does that when you're in the... It only does that if you're in the overworld. Yeah, because I'm turning it upside down now with the capture screen, and it doesn't do that. Whereas, let me get out of the capture screen, and we can do a test. So out of the capture screen, yeah, it turns into battery saver mode if I flip it over. But if I go into the Pokemon details and flip it over, no, it does. It goes into battery saver mode.
Right. You calling Mac a liar? Because Mac got me my Zim Zam Zaboo. And, you know, he's my boy. I'll punch you in the non-face because I'm not violent like that. I'll get my Slugma to come combat you, Joe.
So yeah, you do have to turn off the battery saver mode. Thank you, Mac, for that tip. You know, who cares about Charles and what he's saying? I don't listen half the time, right? So yeah.
More than I listen.
So you got to turn off battery saver mode in order to evolve Inkay, so you can flip your phone upside down and do that. And then as part of the Season of Mischief, they're also talking about different Pokemon popping up in the wild as the seasons change. And so it looks like, is that first one supposed to be like city/suburbs? I think
Yeah.
it shows
I'll read on that.
Shuppet, Trubbish, and Gothita, and all of these say and more. And then in the forest, it's got Teddy Ursa, Shelmet, and
Kookaburra. Krakatoa.
Chupacabra. What?
Yeah. The tick.
No, it's not Kricketot.
No, the blue. It is a K something though, I think. I was thinking Kookaburra, but that's not right.
Yeah, I always forget what that guy's name. It's the blue Kricketot basically. That's a Carablast. There he is.
Yeah.
And then the mountains, it's got Geodude, Rhydon, and Slugma. Which,
as if we were really walking around a Pokemon world and went into those regions.
Yeah, I'm curious what it classifies my neighborhood as, because I've had Gothita spawn here and I've had Slugma spawn here, so I'm curious because that's mountain suburbs.
Like Denver, right? In Denver, you should get both mountains and city because it's still both of those things.
Yeah, the blended. And then near water, it's got Krabby, Horsey, and Mantine. And then it's got some Northern Hemisphere versus Southern Hemisphere rotations as well.
All right.
Yeah. So each one has 3 starters, a filler with a funny face, a deer.
Ooh. I'm down on the eggs.
Okay. And then Jigglypuff versus Clefairy, and this one doesn't make a lot. Well, there's a couple of these that don't make a lot of sense to me, but it's all right. Yeah, and then they're rotating the eggs again. So if you wanted to actually, you don't have to look up anything. You can just look in your game and go to an egg and click on the egg and scroll down. And it'll show you what will hatch from said egg.
But yeah, the hatching, the 7Ks throw in. I do not know what that candy-coated little ball of Pac-Man fur is, but he looks cool.
Candy-coated?
Got like, he's yellow like Pac-Man.
Oh, in the 5K eggs?
Candy cane. Is that 5K? I thought that, yeah, 5K eggs.
That is it's isn't it yeah, it's Chingling.
And then in the 10K, you got Sid Waifu sitting there. I don't know what this Sneasel karate kung fu dude is, but I like him too.
That's the one that Dennis said was trash, and said it was a PvP only reward, and it was up until they put it in 10K eggs.
Now eggs earned from Adventure Sync rewards.
If you walk far enough.
Right? They're all right. They got some okay stuff. Seasonal bonuses, which will actually be shown in your game under special events. Boosted damage for trainers battling remotely. Guaranteed gifts, 3 times bonus XP, a bunch of other stuff there. And then Ditto can show up as some Pokemon you actually want. Crustle being the one I'm looking at the most. So like if I think I've evolved my Crustle to Crusties or whatever it is. But you know, if I saw that in the wild and it changed into Ditto, I'd be like, no.
Crust.
Why is it never Pikachu? Why can Pikachu never turn Dirty Hippie Eevee? Let that turn into a Ditto. I'll catch those all day long.
Dwebble. You threw me off. I'm like, what's his real name? It's Dwebble.
One of his evolutions is Crust something, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, Dwebble does evolve into Crust something or other. See, it is Crustle that it evolves into. You're spot on. But yeah, we're getting into seasons we're getting into the later generations that I don't have down pat.
Yeah.
That first 150, that Poke Rap, I got it.
Well, that Mega Evolution for September is Slowbro, October is Gengar, and November is Doomhound.
Now,
Um,
my question is with Gengar, I wonder if they're going to bring back his costume. Do you remember his costume?
a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, so let me pull it up real quick. But I wonder if they're going to bring back his costume so that people who missed it can grab it this go round. So this one, the like Frankenstein
Oh,
Gengar.
yeah, yeah.
So something out of Nightmare Before Christmas.
I like it. I don't think I have one.
Oh, they
I
should.
wonder if the Mega Evolve that one, how they look.
Some of the costume. I don't think costume Pokemon. Oh no, they can Mega Evolve, but they just look normal. They don't have a costume when you Mega Evolve them.
That would make sense. So, all right. Next up is
Um,
oh,
oh, and I wanted to mention
oh,
one thing real quick. So with the Ditto transformations, Shiny Ditto is in the game, and apparently it's been confirmed that if you run into a wild Pokemon and it's shiny and it turns into a Ditto, that does not guarantee it will be a shiny Ditto, which I think
that made me so mad.
sucks. Whereas apparently it also works in reverse as well. If you catch a Pokemon that turns into a Ditto, even if it wasn't shiny, the Ditto could be shiny. So basically, whether or not the Pokemon you run into is shiny does not determine whether or not the Ditto is shiny. So
This is true.
I
All right,
think
so
I think that's silly, and it should coordinate.
I mean, this game doesn't do a whole lot that makes any sense. So I honestly, I'll be. I don't want to read any of this next thing. I'll let you handle it. The task force.
Your favorite.
TLDR this thing because it's. I honestly just believe it's not going to get us anywhere. But you know what? Prove me wrong, Niantic.
So they immediately after the task force met gave us back the 80-meter interaction, and they said that it'll be that way globally from now on.
Which I talked about that, right? That was a low hanging fruit. That was like you could just say our bad, and so it still was just a middle finger to us. I was like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, the task force, yeah, sure, distance, okay. Can you leave us alone now? Let's see what else is there. I'm cranky old man. Let's see what we got.
And so they have promised basically to communicate more or to open up more communication in general. They are going to continue meeting with the task force as well. So they promised starting next month in October, they are going to once a month publish a quote unquote developer diary. So that they can share their latest priorities, events, features. So basically, it's just going to be another monthly post, just like they've been doing the monthly posts of, hey, these are the events happening this month.
Yeah. So
and then they're
you wanted to be on that task force. How bad would you feel sitting here going, yeah, well, we're not doing crap.
I honestly don't care about being on the task force. I just, man. I just complain a lot to Niantic. But yeah, they are gonna continue with this task force meeting with them. They said they're gonna set up quote unquote regular conversations with them. So we don't know how frequently that is. They didn't state. And then they're also going to try to be better about updating their known issues page, so that they have better visibility with the status of bugs. So, because they list the bugs there, that they often do not update it after it's initially posted, though. So they're gonna work on on doing that. So, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see what comes out of this. I mean, we got the low hanging fruit out of the way. We'll see what else comes forward.
I missed old days of gaming where you could play a game like, man, this sucks, and move on. And somebody like, no, it's awesome, and they play it. Now it's communities and long-running podcasts that suck as well. Uh, and it's just a constant give or take. It almost gets exhausting a little bit because how much does a company owe us? I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
So
this announcement seems to have put corks on the end of people's pitchforks for now. So
yeah. All right, I'm not even gonna get. We got some other stuff. So Inkay and Malamar are here, and Malamar is a candy in the South. I don't know. It's like a moon pie, but more fluffy. So I don't know what we're getting in the game, but yeah, dude. In this day and age of internet, you just go look at this announcement because I'm just scrolling. One click down, he flips upside down. One click up, he flips back over. Just constant there. I'm making them puke if I can. But you're asking how you figured it out. I imagine the game is going to tell us something, but
It-
look, there's even an upside down sticker in the game now for him if you scroll down. So anyway, this is NK. Instead of Evolution Malamar are making their Pokemon Go debuts. They're Kalos from Pokemon X and Y. The Marion Season of Mischief Part Dose, because that's how I roll, Joe. It's already finished step 1. We can have lots of fun. Step 2. All right, name that song. So we might learn about. Okay, all right. This is just world stuff, right? I've seen it done with kids. I've seen it done with all kinds of educators. You never know. We might learn more about Hoopa. No, we're not doing this if we don't get Hoopa. I mean, why are you even acting like we're gonna play if there's not Hoopa, man? If I get through this whole thing, it's just like I know it's not because Barry's already caught his, but if it's just like, all right, we learned more. Now here's another 50 step. I'm out. Done. Chill the game because come on, man, stop dragging it out falsely. But they're not. It is about Hoopa. You're gonna get a bunch of psychic types. Raids will have Staryu, and which evolves into psychic type Starmie. Chimecha, Bronzor, Esper, and Inkay will all be appearing in 1-star raids. Again, as Mac taught us, you can do the take a picture and get the photo bomb to get Inkay. And Joe just got one in the wild, right, Joe?
yes.
Yeah, so it's out there a little bit. Lola and Raichu, while Buffett, Metacham, and Metagross will be the 3 stars. Lugia is 5, and Mega Sobros in the Mega. Take a snapshot once a day for a surprise, which is NK. So that's how you can get a bunch of NK stickers. Unless you're
Yeah.
like me, you're sitting on almost 130 rare candies. So I'm just going to throw 50 rare candies at it and see what happens. That's what
Yeah.
I'm going.
Yeah, I did the snapshot and he ran away from me. The jerk.
Yeah. And then it's got the stickers, while Buffett having the pee. I mean, they're literally leaning into the having the pee thing. Look at the stress sweat coming off of him in that sticker there. So yeah, and as always, be aware of your surroundings, guys. Safari Zone events. All right.
Yeah, these are 2020 events that they're finally
Right. Yeah, get
rescheduling.
rescheduled. And it's Liverpool, Philadelphia, and St. Louis, all trash cities. Not going to I have to give the
So
boys a fucking
let
hard
me
time.
preface that. That's because Philadelphia is on the list, and that's where the botched guys
Yeah, that's
live.
where Botch boys are. Yeah, sorry. Carry on. Carry on.
Yeah, so they are rescheduling these events. Now they did, for those that I don't know if the tickets are rolling over or not. So what happened is with the original Safari Zone events is they let people get refunds, and if they didn't want refunds, then during the original event time in the wild, the event Pokemon would spawn for people. And so a lot of people didn't even realize that any of that was an option, and so they missed it entirely. But they're rescheduling this. We need to look at the details and see if the ticket holders, if those that had tickets are still have tickets, or if they have to repurchase tickets.
It just says all ticket holders who would like to join an in-person event must RSVP. That seems to indicate if you still have your ticket, all you gotta do is say, "Yeah, I'm coming."
That is what it seems like. So let's see. Not only will these Safari Zone celebrations take place in their original park locations, but also ticket holders will be able to participate in the event they have a ticket for, no matter where they are in the world. So even though these are in those specific locations, you don't have to be in those specific locations.
So that's why they're RSVPing, because they want to do a space safe or distance gathering. I dig it. I mean, let's say, Joe, you and I had planned on going. We had talked about it. Well, let's say we planned on going to Philadelphia or St. Louis, got our tickets. Well, now we don't have to make a trip because you're in Tennessee, I'm in Georgia. That's a definitive trip for either one of us. So that I like that. I like that just because you made the initial plans to go there, you don't have to be there. That's a nice non-task force result from something that's good in the game.
Yep.
You know, I also wonder if they would get their voting lawsuits, because if you say, well, you have to be here, and travel's kind of up and down in the air, no pun intended. I don't know. I think you could be sued.
Yeah. So Liverpool is going to be the weekend of October 15th to the 17th. The Philadelphia one will be October 29th to the 31st that weekend. And then the Safari Zone, there's all Safari Zones. The St. Louis one will be November 12th to the 14th. And they've got specific websites set up for more details on each of these events if you are so inclined to take a look at those. But yeah. Interesting.
So to go back where I was talking about, I miss old days, and that Weird Tigger says, "Shut your face." I love the communities. I remember the Game Facts days, FAQs, and asking people questions about the games with their forums. #internet baby. My thing was I played with 3 people in my neighborhood, and if we all didn't like it, we were just out $50 and we just moved on.
I like how the event website gives you basically no more information than the original did. Although it does have the artwork so you can see what the featured Pokemon are. And then it says, check the blog for additional details. You click on that and it just takes you back to the link we were already at. So it's just a circle.
As Joe and I were talking before the show, I'm never quite sure of, because once you've seen a Pokemon enough, you're never quite sure if they've had a community day. Duskull is coming at the community day. And I've got pretty much every version, a shiny, non-shiny, all the evolutions, I think.
Yes, but
so
you have a shiny Shadow Duskull.
That I do not. I don't know that I care, though. But I don't.
I can answer that question for you. You don't care.
I mean, in the moment, like if I'm participating in the day and I get it, I'll be excited. You'll hear me come back and go, "Woo! Look what I got!"
Woo!
Okay.
Nature Boy.
So yeah, to help you evolve your Dusclops into Dusknoir, you'll be able to earn up to 4 Sinnoh Stones by completing free timed research during the day. That's a good community day, in my opinion. You get Charge Attack Shadow Ball on Dusknoir, and that's
which is nice. Shadow Ball is a very nice move. Yeah, but in general, a lot of people are not excited about this. I know that Jacket K is excited because of the Shadow Ball, but there's a lot of people in the community who are not excited. We've had Duskull events. Granted, you're more likely to get a shiny this time, but yeah, there's a lot of people that really wish they had chosen a different ghost Pokemon. Specifically, a lot of people wish it had been Litwick, to be honest.
Yeah, I can see that. I still need a few, one evolution. I don't think a few. I think I've gotten the middle ones. I need more candies for the Litwick is harder to get. I mean, Duskull's been around longer, and that's to me that's kind of thing is community day should be, in my opinion, introduce you to somebody you might not know that well. So if you ever freaking do another Pikachu community day, I'm out because everybody knows who that little electric rat is. We need to know who Litwick is.
So, are you saying that Community Day should be Niantic's version of speed dating?
Sure, that sounds a little weird. It should be, hey, no, it's a featured player, right? It's like, hey, you might not know much about Joe Ard, but Joe is a featured player on the Pokemon GO podcast. He likes to say things like, yep, and shake his head at, oh, Charles. Yeah, something like that.
And you got to make sure to call him Charles, because if you call him Chuckles, he gets mad real quick.
You know what? You better stop. You get fired from the show right here on the air.
Wouldn't be the first time you fired someone live on air.
Actually, I would not fire you. Like, you know what, Joe? This is all yours. I'm out, man. Get Weird Tigger up in here. I bet you they'll be better than I am anyway. There's some photo bombing, and you're not wrong about that. There's some photo bombing, which I like. I always like photo bombing. And 3 times Cat Stardust. Instance activated during the event will last for 3 hours. The learn modules will also be 3 hours. That's about standard.
And the 3 times Stardust, people are going to love that because, got to get that Stardust.
So that's my daughter's birthday. And
Mm.
I'll actually be at a conference at Jekyll Island on that day. So we'll see.
So you're like, who cares about my daughter? Who cares about Duskull? I'm out of here.
Kinda. Not in that order. I'd say who cares about Duskull before I said who cares about my daughter. But yeah, you're not wrong. We have 4 kids for a reason. They don't have to care. They don't listen to this shit. I don't know why I troll them with the jokes. They don't listen to anything I do. And me and Weird Tigger need to catch up offline a little bit. We're having a Renfest discussion in our chat while Joe's talking. Going on.
Hey, the Georgia Renfest is a fun time. If
It
anybody's
is
nearby.
It is. They have another one coming up in the fall, but I'm actually going up to North Carolina Halloween weekend. We're taking my daughter up there to go see her friends. So Weird Tigger, I'll throw this out to you.
As a belated birthday present?
More or less just a trip to go up there. I already got her some cool stuff for her birthday, and we're going to see Hamilton. Her grandfather got her Hamilton tickets 2 years ago for her birthday, so you got them in October for 2020. Of course, it got delayed, right? So we'll be going to the Hamilton birthday trip Sunday. But yeah, no, the Tortuga twins are friends of mine. I've known them for well over a decade. Raphael Tortuga is one of my best friends. And so, yeah, Weird Tigger, if you go to the North Carolina Renfest, go by the Tortuga twins and tell them to rock out a podcasting, said hello. And I will have probably seen them the weekend before because it says November. I'll be there just at the end of October. Anyway, if you work it out, Weird Tigger, we can do 3 birds with 1 stone. You get a convention, I see my boys, and we can meet up and do a little Pokemoning. There you go. So, all right, Joe, that's not what we call to talk about, is it? I think that's all the headlines, right?
It is.
Okay. We have a new patron.
Yep.
Zirconic is the new patron. I believe
New and evolved.
I take Zirconic for my colon problems. I do believe so. It works out. Works out that they're paying me to cleanse my colon. I appreciate that. So
man. See, and I thought you took Malort for that.
We learned this weekend only psychopaths like Malort. We met 2 of them, didn't we?
Sure did.
So I'm gonna play this for you, Joe, right here.
Hey, you guys, this is Karen from the Lugia Podcast, and I just want to ask Joe what time it is.
It is time for random trivia. And this week I'm going to talk in Inkay and its evolution Malamar.
Okay, that's all I hear.
Okay. So they are both dark psychic type Pokemon. Inkay is the revolving Pokemon, while Malamar is the overturning Pokemon. As we've mentioned multiple times during the show, to evolve Inkay into Malamar, you have to flip your device upside down, whether that's in the main series games or in Pokemon Go. Inkay's Pokedex entry from Pokemon X is opponents who stare at the flashing of the light-emitting spots on its body become dazed and lose their will to fight. Inkay, its shiny form, which is not in Pokemon Go just yet, basically changes the blue part of its body to yellow. And as far as I know, it is... So, before the Nintendo 3DS, it would have been impossible for Inkay's evolution method to work because the 3DS was the first handheld to have... first Nintendo handheld system to have that internal gyroscope in it. Inkay is based off of a squid. and it bears a similar look to a cuttlefish specifically. Its name comes from a combination of ink and okay.
Hey.
Okay. Uh, so yeah, good old Inkay. Malamar. Now Malamar looks angry.
Right.
Yeah. And I like how, so traditionally, Inkay, the bulbous portion is up top. And when you evolve it, it flips upside down. It keeps that um, inverted look with Malamar, the overturning Pokemon. Um, its Pokedex entry for Pokemon X says it wields the most compelling hypnotic powers of any Pokemon, and it forces others to do whatever it wants. Which is interesting because my toddler and I just recently watched the Hypno episode of the first season of Pokemon, and Hypno convinces all kinds of people to do whatever it wants in that episode. So, but apparently, oh, you're evolving it.
Yeah. I apparently had a lot more rare candies than I thought because I just used 40 and I still have 140 something. So
Well, just don't trash them, and we'll be okay. Um,
there you go. Well, you
so,
do. You have to flip it upside down and then it pops up. Do you want to evolve this thing? Yeah.
and you're like, yes, please. So Malamar is based off of an upside down squid. Who would have guessed that one?
That is really that's Maleficent meets Ursula right there. That's really cool.
Its abilities seem to have been inspired by a vampire squid specifically. Malamar, the name, is a combination of mal, which is Latin for bad,
Right.
and calamari.
Okay, I can see that.
So, Malamar. But yeah, uh, get some while you can.
Interesting note. I had Inkay as my buddy, so I could just walk it, and then I realized like, I'll just use all these rare candies because what else am I gonna do with them? And so I did all of that and evolved them, and so I've got Malamar, and Malamar popped up on the screen on the world because they're my buddy, and proceeded to disappear. They have disappeared off the map. I don't know if they went to the sub levels of the netherworld to go get Pokemon souls and bring them back to me, but I can appreciate it
Well,
either way.
maybe while it's disappeared, it will find a Kecleon and bring it into the game.
Yeah. You can email us show at Pokemon Go Podcast, which honestly I knew we were going to talk about a lot of stuff tonight, so I didn't even check that email today. Hit us up with the Speak Pipe. Didn't check that one either today. So if you left one, thank you. We'll play it next week. Over at PokemonGoPodcast.com. There's a tab on the right hand side. Click it, Speak Pipe, do your thing. Reddit's r/Pokemon Go Podcast. Facebook is Pokemon Go Podcast. Twitter's at Pokemon Go Pod, which, Facebook, we don't do a lot with that. Joe and I are both very busy people, and it's a lot easier just to respond to stuff and post little quick bits on Twitter. But if you're a Facebook person, the podcast gets posted there because they have a great podcast tab on Facebook now. So you can go listen to the podcast there. Twitter's at Pokemon Go Pod. Twitch.tv is Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern. Pokemon Go Podcast. So twitch.tv/Pokemon Go Podcast is how you can join us and people like Weird Tigger. And let's see who else is here. I know Squishy Twishy. Yep, Squishy's still there. Angel Fur is here. Another TV viewer. Sea Freeze. I can't even read that. Haas00312. I'm sure I'm messing something up. Mac Floof, Twitchy Weird Tigger, and Willie Scissor 617. And I'm sure there was others that my list aren't showing me right now. So yeah, come out live, hang out with us, help name the show, and see our pretty faces because they're very pretty and they are faces. So there's that. Joe, where can they find you on the web?
You can find me on Twitter at Joseph_Ard. How about you, Charles?
You can find me taking a nap because I am tired. I'm so worn out right
Yeah.
now. At Rock Out of Pod, Rock Out of Podcasting on all of the social medias, Charles McFall. You can definitely Google me. And I really got to get my butt in gear and get finding the stories, the season break is we got a few recordings from conventions, and actually I'm going to wait to see what this convention in Indiana does, because it's a type of convention where I sit with the celebrities, so I might get more stories. But I'll go ahead and try to get those 3 put up that I have now. But yeah, finding the stories is my passion project right now, and I love it. So tune in next week to hear Joe say.
Well, just like Inkay, I could say, "You spin me right round, baby, right round."
Yeah.